Alright, and welcome to the next video. So in the last one, we learned how to multiply out, a single bracket, stuff like this or that. So in this one, we're going to go to double brackets. So look, again here I put in, a massively important video by now. You should be very confident doing something like this. Say I asked you to multiply these two things together. You should be, you should know that this is going to be 25x squared y cubed. If not, go watch that video. And you know what? You could actually watch this whole video again as well, the multiplying out a single bracket, because I actually ran over a few examples as well with that. But after this, I might do a little bit of breakdown and show you how this kind of stuff works in this video, but I'm not going to keep doing this, right? This is your learning, you've got to do this. So anyway, let's go into multiplying out brackets. So you're going to be faced with two brackets like this. Now, when I ask someone to multiply this out and they're not sure, here's a common thing I see a mistake. They'll say you do that times that and that times that. So obviously x times x equals x squared plus 1 times 4. So they'll tell me x squared plus 4. That's totally wrong. And here's a good example why. Now, let's pick something you do know. 6 times 3. Yeah? And you know that equals 30. Now, I'm going to write 6 as 5 plus 1. And I'm going to write 5, it doesn't matter how I write it, but let's just pick 3 plus 2, alright? So, and obviously these multiplying together, because, by just putting the brackets together, it implies that there's a plus. So hopefully that makes sense. So now, based on your thinking, so you're saying when you have two double brackets, like this, if you think the method is multiplying this and this, well, we can check it on this. So look, this is, remember, we've written this is 6, this is 5. So you're saying that this times that and this times that should give us 30. Because remember, we know 6 times 5 is 30, so this should equal 30. But it doesn't. Look, 5 times 3 is 15, and 1 times 2 is 2. So, based on this way, you said this add this, you'll be saying that this would equal 15 add 2, which is 17, which is totally wrong because it's supposed to be 30. So here's the bits which you're missing. You also need to multiply this by that. So that is an extra 5 times 2, so that's an extra 10. And you also have to multiply this one by 3, which is a 3. So now look at this. 15 add 10 add 3 add 2. Yup. That equals 30. So that's the other things which you're missing. And then I've got a little rule for this as well. So if you want to do double brackets, literally, here's the rule for it. Multiply everything in the first bracket by everything in the second bracket. Yeah? Think about that for a second. Multiply everything in the first bracket by everything in the second bracket. That's it. So, now if you're kind of doing this, now obviously I'm going to keep reiterating what I think is important. So look at this. Remember, so firstly, remember, we don't see this as x, add 1. We see this as plus x plus 1. We see this as plus x plus 4. That's how we always look at algebra from now on. Now look, we want to multiply everything in the first bracket, so we've got two things in the first bracket. And we've got two things in the second bracket. Call it A and B for this time. So here's the deal. Everything in here, so let's start with the first thing. We're going to have to multiply that by that. We're going to have to multiply that by that. And so that's the first thing in the first bracket, multiplied by everything in the second. So we also have to do it for this. So you do that times that, and that times that. Simple. And, now we just break it down. So this one, just this plus x times plus x, obviously 2 plus is going to make a plus. So this is going to be plus an x times x, which is x squared. Yeah? So think of this one. These are all pluses, so all of this is going to be plus. This is a plus times plus. That gives you plus 4x. Yeah, plus 1 times plus x. That will just give you 1x, which you just write as x, plus, and plus 1 times plus 4, which is plus 4. So and remember, then the beauty of kind of keeping these signs all together, you don't have to think, oh, am I adding this? No, you just literally write them as is. We've got plus x squared plus 4x plus x plus 4. Okay? Now remember, you don't need to put that plus at the front. Now this is where, so you don't actually leave your answer like this. Why not? Because you can simplify this. Right? So this is why I taught you simplifying terms first, and now I'm showing you multiplying out brackets. Because as its algebra keeps building. So here's the deal. Let's just kind of now decide what types of terms each one of these are. So this one, remember, in reality there's a plus x there. So remember, we ignore the plus, the 1 in front as well. This is just an x squared term. Yeah, this one, well, we'll treat them like that. Yeah, ignore the plus 4. This is an x term. This is also an x term. This is a number term. Alright, so listen, this is the only x term. There's only one of them, plus 1. So guess what? X squared, that's going to be an answer. These are our x terms. There's plus 4 here, and there's plus 1 here. Right? So plus 5, we've got plus 5 of these x's. So plus 5x. And finally, this is our only number term, which is plus 4. So there you go. This multiplied out is x squared plus 5x plus 4. And that's it. That's literally it. Now, this, don't worry too much about this. I'll talk about quadratics later anyway. But just, this is a quadratic. Yeah? And all a quadratic is just a certain amount of x squareds, certain amount of x's, and then a few numbers. Here's the deal as well. And the amount of x squareds can't be 0. So, yeah, but don't worry about that too much. Just I'm giving you a little bit of a flavour for the maths, which is going to come later. Don't worry, it's all going to be easy as well once we do this step by step. Alright, so that's it. Remember, so the main thing here, again, get your signs in there. And then you've got to multiply everything in the first bracket by everything in the second bracket. Simple. And then you just multiply each of them separately. Be careful about it. You think about the signs. So if there's two positives, multiplying your answer for that little branch there is going to be positive. And then you've got to know how to multiply things together. So, if you're not sure that x times x equals x squared, go watch that video. What happened there? Yeah, go watch this very important video, and go watch this video as well. Yeah, I don't want to keep going over the same stuff. I mean, maths is fun enough without me repeating it all the time, as I'm sure you agree. So, alright, so let's go on to, let's stick a few negatives in there. Yeah. So here you go. So first things first. Everything in the first bracket multiplied by everything in the second bracket. But before that, remember, this isn't x add 5. This is plus x plus 5. This is plus x minus 3. Now here's the thing. Multiply everything in the first bracket, yeah, by everything in the second. So here's my first thing I multiply by everything in the second. Here's my second thing in the bracket. Yeah. Now I have multiplied everything in the first bracket by everything in the second. And here are the 4 things which are multiplying together for me. So in the first one, this line here, yeah, I've got plus x times plus x going on. And this one, this long one over there, I've got plus x. Maybe I'll just do like this is a big exercise multiplying. Got like plus x times my minus 3. Then I've got this one, so I've got plus 5 times a plus x. And finally, I've got a plus 5 multiplied by a minus 3. So, this is pretty simple. Hopefully by now. Plus times plus, our answer is going to be positive here. Plus times minus, this one's going to be negative. Plus times plus is going to be plus. Plus times negative thing, yeah? And you can almost literally kind of cross off all of these. The signs are only there to just kind of decide at the start. This is when you're multiplying, by the way. By adding, it's a different thing. But yeah, x times x, x squared, x times 3, 3x, 5 times. There you go, you've done. So now, you know, this is what you come out with. But remember, we simplify this because this is an x term. This is an x squared term. This is an x term. This is an x term. This is a number term. Well, we already know that because these two are the only one. This is the only x squared term. This is the only number term. So they're going to stay like that. You can have an x squared. You know, you're going to have minus 15 here. Then just join that. So we've got minus 3 here. We've got plus 5 here. So altogether we've got plus 2. Plus 2x. But get comfortable. But get into the habit of writing all your x squareds first. Then your x's. Then your minus 15s. But that is correct. There's nothing wrong with that. But here you go. This is the way I want you to write your answer. Okay? X squared plus 2x minus 15. Hopefully that's reasonably straightforward enough. Let's go for another example. There you go. Ugly color, isn't it? Let's go. Guys, feeling a little bit of glue. So here's the deal. Like, you should not be worried at all if you see something change. You know, so all of a sudden, oh god, the x has gone to the other side. Who cares? Like, nothing has changed. You know, all of a sudden, if I chuck in a 2x, don't worry, nothing's changed. We're just going to follow our rules. So multiply everything in the first bracket by everything in the second. F4. Don't forget, we've got pluses here. So we're not going to forget them. Okay. And we're just going to do that times that. We're going to do that times that. We're going to do that times that. And we're going to do that times that. So the first one, you know, we're a little bit quick about this as well now, yeah? Plus 2 times plus 4. Write it down on pen and paper, piece of paper. So plus times plus, we're definitely going to get plus, so we don't need to write that. 2 times 2 times 4 gives you 8. So our first thing is 8. Then, you know, let's do this one. We'll do this take a little, we'll actually write this out. So we've got plus 2 times minus 2x. So already, plus times a minus, the answer is going to be minus, forget them now. And I've just got 2 times 2x remaining, so that's just going to be 4x. Next one, we got this minus x times the minus 4, minus x times plus 4, minus, that should be a plus, what am I doing? Yeah, so minus x times plus 4, minus times plus, the answer is going to be minus 4 times x. Yeah, happy with that. Okay, and finally, this last one, which is probably the tougher one, I guess, if you want to call it tough. Yeah. Minus x times minus 2x. Firstly, minus times minus. Yeah, answer is going to be a plus, so we don't care about these anymore. And now you've got x times 2x. Now remember, just be nice here, I'll remind you if you don't know how to do it. This is just 2 times x. Yeah, this is x. Multiplying, I reshuffle the order, so I've got all my numbers at the front. Yeah, this is just x squared, so it's the same. 2 times x squared, which is 2x squared. Okay, so 2x squared. Okay, so I got that, plus 2x squared. Let's leave some space up. Yes, apart from that, don't forget as well, you know, that's your x squared term, that's your number term, but we've got 2 x's here. Now we've got minus 4x is here, minus 4x is here. So that joins together to give us minus 8x. And remember, it's minus, yeah, because we're adding them. And remember, always get into the habit of writing your x squareds first. Obviously, because there's a plus there, I don't need to write that. Then all your x's, minus 8x. So there you go, you've multiplied a double bracket. And yeah, so see, like, if I chuck in x's, if they're in the opposite direction, you know how this stuff works. None of this should scare you. So let's just, you know what, I want you guys to try this now. So let's try a really kind of like ugly-ish one. Or what they would say is ugly, but it's not ugly, it's easy. As long as you follow this step by step. Okay, should have absolutely no problem. So the first thing, by the way, guys, I mean this is considered like reasonably like difficult maths. What I'm trying to show you is if you kind of just take it step by step, yeah, it's a lot easier. But anyway, so we're clear that this is plus 2xy. This is minus 7x squared. So, you know, just like that. We're going to do multiply, we're going to do them one by one. So we're first going to do that. Plus and plus, we're going to give us a plus. 2 times 3, so we've got 6. And then we just got xy. So there you go, we start off with xy. Hopefully you guys are happy with that. This one, we've got a plus and a minus here. So our answer is going to be a minus. Then let's actually do the breakdown for this, because I guess this kind of stuff is a little bit harder. Okay, so this is 2 times x times y, and this is 4 times, I mean we could do y times y times y times y, but let's just write this for now. Alright, we reshuffle the order, so we're going to put all the numbers at the front, then all the x stuff, and then all the y stuff. So we're going to have 2 times 4 times x times y cubed. And now we're just going to pick them off. So this, the two numbers multiply together to give us 8. X times x is x squared. And y times y cubed is y to the 4. That's it. Now remember, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be such a, I shouldn't be kind of saying like, oh yeah, this stuff is easy. Look guys, there's nothing wrong, you haven't got me in front of you kind of telling, if there's any bit you didn't understand, me kind of there helping you out. So look, even though I might kind of say in the video, this is easy, yeah? If you don't get it, listen, come to me in one of the lessons, tell me exactly which bit, and we'll get you through it. So, take my little kind of this is easy, don't worry about it kind of thing. If any part kind of makes you struggle, you come to me, we'll do whatever it takes to make sure you get it, basically. And then you do this, and hopefully it'll be more of the same. I'll do this one very quickly. So it's minus and a plus multiplying, so your answer is going to be minus here as well. 7 times 3, 21. You just got an x squared, so that's still going to be there. Finally, the last one. So you've got minus 7x squared. We'll do this one because it's times, sorry. Minus 4 y cubed. I didn't mean that to do that. Yeah, so we're doing that. So first it's minus times minus, so we know that's going to give us a plus, so we can put a plus there anyway. So, yeah, we'll do the breakdown. So times x squared. Reshuffle the order. You see how it follows quite a nice little pattern every single time. Obviously when you don't know about it, it's not so simple. But fingers crossed, this looks pretty nice. There you go. So plus 28x cubed. That's it. And the last thing you kind of do here as well, yeah, is you make sure, look, can you actually simplify this? And the way you decide is you just decide what type of term this is. Don't forget this is a plus. We're dealing with them like this. Yeah, you won't be doing this. You get very quick at this once you do enough of them. Ignore that sign and number. This is an xy term. What type of term do you think this is, guys? Yep. It's an x squared y to the 4 term. Which one is this? Ignore that sign, ignore that number, just left with an x squared, so that's what type of term it is. Ignore that sign, 28. So, quick question here. Do you, take a second with this. Which one of these can you join together? Okay, take a pause, have a think about this. Which of these are going to join together, which are not? Okay, alright, and here's the answer. None of them are joining together. That's your final answer. Remember, unless they're exactly the same, these are not exactly the same. You might have thought maybe that joins with that. No, it isn't. This is x3, y3, or x cubed, y cubed. This is x squared, y to the 4. Not the same. This is your final answer. So that's it. That's how double brackets works. I guess I'll make one extra kind of like little point just in case it comes up. But I don't actually remember this ever coming up in GCSE, but I guess if they want to be mean, it's not going to come up, but I'll tell you just on the off chance it comes up. If you were ever faced with this, any idea what you think you'd do? Okay, I'll tell you. This is the rule. Multiply everything in the first bracket by everything in the second. So look, be happy that we're dealing with, there's 3 things in the second bracket, there's 2 things in the first. So here's my first thing in my first bracket, I've got to multiply by everything in the second. So there you go, I'd start off with that. Then I'll do that. Then I'll do that. Then I'll take the second thing in the second bracket, multiply by everything in the second. I mean my second thing in my first bracket, multiply by everything in the second. So there'll be actually 6 things you put together. I'm not going to bother doing it. It should be reasonably straightforward. But there you go. So that's it. Oh yeah. I guess I can make it quick. Let me make a quick comment. Or, you know what? I'll do it in the next video. So I'll do a double single bracket squared video. Okay? Cool. See you in the next video.